I got a real special tomato right there. It's that Cherokee Purple Haze, if you know what I mean, man. I don't, I mean, if it is there for anything else but the clover, I feel as if what was there right now wouldn't be there. By the way, a very windy rainstorm just occurred. So, yeah. I think it's just there for the clover, and honestly, why not let the rabbit eat the clover? As the clover gets cut or whatever, the roots will die off. Because when you cut grass, say, okay, so bear with me here. Say the grass, this is just for reference, it's the same concept of clover. Say the grass is 4 inches tall. Okay, well the roots are 4 inches deep. They actually, the fescue specifically, the grass that's in our lawns, unfortunately, primarily the Kentucky, whatever, 42 or something. That stuff doesn't have a very deep root system. So if it even gets to 4 inches, let's just say it does, the height of the grass is 4 inches. The depth of the roots are 4 inches. If you cut that grass to 2 inches, the roots die back to 2 inches deep. So those roots are now dead in the soil. But what happens with a nitrogen fixing plant like clover is when you cut it, the roots die back a bit, which really releases that nitrogen. Also, I'm gonna be cutting this clover back. I plan to be cutting this clover back anyway, because I don't want it to get too tall, and when you do it fixes nitrogen. So, also with this specific kind of tomato, you once it hits that flowering stage, you want to kill your ground cover, your nitrogen fixing ground cover off, and put some mulch over it. Something about a carbon nitrogen ratio, I don't know all of that. But might as well leave the rabbit to do its work. It's doing work for me right now. Also, if I don't know what I could do besides kill it or run it off for the 100th time, like that works. That clover sure is distracting it from other things. Oh yeah, that's that borage. That bigger leafed plant right there is borage. It does well with strawberries and tomatoes. It apparently makes it tastier, and I've heard that it increases the yield of tomatoes. Or strawberries. Probably both. I guess I'll leave it alone. Aw, Rex, you nosy prick. This dude stays outside my window if I'm inside.
We have lost objective Edward.
God, he's so nosy. Time to pick some radish. These have been interplanted with carrot. Wasn't quite too sure which one was the radish or carrot at first. Definitely know which one's the radish now. Wasn't too familiar with what things in the carrot, or whatever family that is, look like. Can you see a carrot? Barely. That little spindly, thinner looking leaf. That's the carrots. And they are ready to get some more sun, have these radishes thinned out. The timing of the radish and carrot work out pretty nice. It takes about 30 days for radish to mature, so it's time to pick these bad boys. Now the cool part is they're interplanted with carrots. Carrots take 70 or 80 or something, I forget how many days, but more than twice as long as the radish. So this is great timing for the radishes to be thinned out of the carrots, and now the carrots will be able to take over. This is my first actual harvest of something I planted from seed. I've taken a couple of them already, and they're just magnificently juicy. Nothing like what you will buy in the store. I thought radishes were supposed to be dry like that, and no. Oh, we got the leeks too. Recently I took this mound of dirt and put it alongside each row of leek, because you're supposed to build up as the leek gets tall. supposed to build up the soil around the leek as the leeks grow. These are too close together, it's alright though. Next year when I really have a grasp on what I'm doing, it's gonna be nice. All these beds are gonna be covered with compost, which I have brewing right now, if you will. Like 2 or 3 inches of compost, and then I'll cover it with another 6 inches or so of hay. Look at these bad boys. Shoo-wee. I was able to squeeze drops of juice out of these last time. There we go. I didn't know that radish were like that. Now I got it all dirty. Minerals, you know. This brings me joy. Now that one I just showed you was bigger than any of these. There's a slug on that one. Still good eating. Maybe not the slug, but the radish. Chickens might like radish. They look pretty much like anything. God, it's like spicy almost. Ugh. I can't wait for the wasabi radish to get done. I have some of those planted, I think, over here. And I'll show you what the other part of the garden is looking like. The beets aren't looking bad. I really never expected anything too crazy out of this year in terms of what one would expect when they plant stuff. As in, this is gonna grow and be fabulous. And it's gonna be the same case for every single plant. Yeah, that takes a little more thought, more blueprinting, more design initially, and work, of course. So I'm all about the work, it's just about how to do this stuff. I'm learning. Oh my gosh. Yeah, these are ready to be pulled. So obviously carrots and radish are companion plants. Carrots and onions are also companion plants. I forget why. Most likely it's repelling pests. Not a lot of things aren't companion plants, so when companion planting, or there's another term for it, starts with a C because of this and that. You're gonna want to look for what doesn't go together. Dill, pretty sure, is in the carrot family, and they can pollinate, leading to decreased yields in your carrot. I'm just gonna get a shot of this fool. Man, he never does this, but now since I'm up here, he's like, "What you gonna do about it, huh? What you gonna do about it?" I think he's just eating the weeds. Which, if they just came up here and ate the grass, yeah, that'd be great. What you eating, Rex? He ain't eating nothing. He's that neighbor that goes and sweeps the roof off whenever something is happening with another neighbor, like when the cops are coming over, and you know, he's just nosy. He's just nosy. Boy. Whatever. Alright. But there's nothing like just a straight radish. Well, I'm sure it's the same thing for everything, but nothing like a fresh radish picked straight out the ground. You don't even taste the dirt. Oh yeah. seed. There is rhyme and reason to planting them a certain amount of inches apart. Spacing's pretty important, but I had a lot to get in the ground, and it was more like, get it in the ground, see what happens, reap whatever reward you get from it. But mainly what I'm getting from this is knowledge, because you can read all you want online about this and that, and this pertains to any subject, but until you actually get in the field and do it hands-on, you don't really know what you think you know. You don't really get it. You don't understand it until you actually live it. And this is definitely living it. I definitely feel as if I'm living. This is nice. I will take what I can get. These radish, they take 30 days. I'm gonna have to plant some more. I love them in a salad and by themselves, obviously. And you know, growing organic is not just about your health, it's about everything's health, which is about your health, because I believe nature and man, we're one. We are not separate. So whenever we use all this synthetic everything, to produce a crop in a monoculture, it's a detriment to the environment. For example, glyphosate, Roundup, 99% of it runs off into our creeks, rivers, all in the name of fast food production. It's not very sustainable. Some people become so addicted to stress that they need that 9-to-5 job, then they'll justify it by any means. Give him some radishes. That's nice. That's so awesome. And now what's left, besides weeds, is a whole bunch of carrot. There's a whole lot more weeds than I anticipated. Wow, but I'll just point it out to you by hand. I'll have to remember that leaf right there. So this is a carrot. Don't you know what that is? This was the radish. And that is bird poop.